It's been a week of search and rescue teams going in and out of the operating center there, as of course mobile operations are underway in flood-hit KwaZulu-Natal. Karinda Jagmohan is for us this morning at the Virginia airport, where officers are being dispatched for deployment. Karinda, a couple of cabinet ministers are also making a showing there in the province. Who's on your side?
That's correct. The Minister of Agriculture, Toko Didiza, is on the ground now. She came about half an hour ago, and you'll hear around us there's also helicopters landing, one search and rescue team having just returned from the operations. Minister Didiza is being briefed at the moment by police and rescue teams, and essentially we understand just trying to ascertain what the operations are like and what perhaps her department can offer to the team going forward. Let's take a listen to what the briefing is.
Trainers and all their expertise as well. They unfortunately being volunteers, they were here for 7 days. They had to leave and go back to their homes. We now have Tshwane Urban Search and Rescue and Fire Department are here. We also have deployment from Northwest Emergency Services from their Disaster Management and Fire Department are here. With technical rescuers, Northwest have brought 2 civil engineers to assist with those dangerous structural collapses, etc. We also have the police helicopters deployed from Gauteng and from Mpumalanga province are here. We have a fixed-wing plane as well. We have 2 SANDF fixed-wing planes and 4 SANDF helicopters. We also have about 14 boats, but the boats are not required at the moment because the rivers were in flood and the mountains and the landslides didn't necessitate the use of vessels, but they did come with them. We needed to find an operations centre where we could deploy from, and we were very kindly gifted this use of this airport by eThekwini and by the management of Virginia Airport to set up and run our operations from here. So we have our main police jock here, which is working under instruction from our Provincial Commissioner General Nkwazi, via obviously our NASCOM, our Minister, and Kochta, very importantly. And the Provincial Disaster Management are also working in conjunction with us. We have teams deployed in some of the major areas that have been hardest hit from the 12th until today. The Inanda area, the entire Inanda area, and the entire Marion Hill Valley, all the way from the Shongweni area, Chelenyama, Kwandangezi, Dassenhoek, through Umlazi, through Velberdach, through Chatsworth, all the way to Cuttings, Barmondi and Wabang in Wentworth. We have smaller scenes that also require attention, Poundtown, Nazareth. We have Mulweni, Lower Mulweni was very hard hit. Ushwini area at the Hillcrest side of Inanda Dam by Msinzi Resort is cut off from the entire country. There was one road, the Mulweni access road from Ushwini Road Bridge below the dam wall, running all the way to the new bridge at Dumasani Makaya Road, is wiped out. There is no way of travelling along that road at all. It is now part of the river. The tar, everything is washed away and gone. The only access to that area to do the rescues where the SANDF assisted us with paramedics, we airlifted 10 people out that had been injured seriously in those rock slides. We have recovered 2 deceased bodies from that area. There are still between 2 and 4 people that are missing, buried under tons and tons of rocks and mud that have now come down and have settled and have dried out, and they are meters deep. We have taken humanitarian aid via SANDF helicopters, police helicopters, and Gift to the Givers and local NGOs have been feeding in humanitarian aid to that area with Doctors Without Borders, etc., to go and help and treat the people. We also have cut-off areas in the lower Marion Hill Valley where there's no access other than by helicopter to get rescuers and resources in. One of our greatest shortcomings in the landscape we have in KwaZulu-Natal, being so hilly and mountainous, is that when those areas become cut off by road, we can get helicopters in, we can get foot soldiers in, we can get dogs in, we can get divers, we can get medical supplies, we can take food. We cannot get our heavy machinery like our back actors, our TLBs and our graders to go and assist with these search and recovery areas to move those tons of mud and concrete and rubble and rocks that have come down. The teams have been working constantly from the 12th until today. without a day off. They don't need the praise for that. That is what they work for. That's their passion. It's about an 18-hour shift from 6 in the morning till 10, 11 at night. The dogs get rested. They are working now in cycles because the dogs also have a limit to how long they can search. And the terrain that they are searching, the dogs are becoming injured. They are needing attention and care. So we need to take care of our canine fellows because they are our eyes, ears and noses to show us where the bodies might be, where there could be survivors. We are moving into that stage now where we are presuming that there are no more survivors. We always maintain hope that there will be survivors, but we are now into the recovery stages where the area is so vast and so hard hit. The entire eThekwini, areas of Ugu, King Setshwayo, Ngongonglovu, Ilembe, Kwadakuza area, all of those areas have all got affected disaster areas in a smaller scale. So the whole of KZN is in a hole affected. So we are trying to spread to the important areas and to the high-profile areas where the people need the help the most to get there and get the job done. We are doing the best that we can, and we have fantastic support from our community, from our municipal structures, and from our provincial and national structures.
How are you assisting farmers, particularly those that have been cut off with the feed for the animals in particular? Yesterday we were around Cliffdale, where there is an area within the valley of Cliffdale where some horses apparently have been entrapped and they can't take feed to them and so on. But we also had a similar scenario around Ilembe where some of the cattle are also kind of like cut off.
Yes.
And they can't take feed or even water to those. In such areas, what would be your form of assistance, for instance?
Minister, at this point in time, the communities and the NGOs have been trying to assist as much as possible in those aspects. And
Minister Togo Didiza, the Minister of Agriculture and Rural Development, getting a briefing that is there at the Virginia airport. That is where Karinda Jagmohan is. She is, of course, being briefed on the operation on the ground.